Okay, so now we're actually going to be looking at time. So as we mentioned before, usually time is primarily used for employees, especially when they're on a hourly wage rate, right? So what we're gonna do is, since for this a particular example for Academy Photography, what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at our employee clocking in their hours, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually have our little people, we're going to assign them to particular jobs that this employee has completed for. So in this case, we have this little timesheet here. Don't worry, I've already done this many times and I have it right here. A lot more clear and a lot more better to see. So don't worry, we have it right here. But let's go ahead and look at time. So again, in order to turn that on, you go through your edit preferences in your company, and under time and billing, or sorry, time and expenses, you're gonna find there's a little section that you can turn on time. Now, when you do that, we're gonna look at this drop down menu, and we're gonna enter it in as a weekly timesheet. So as you can see, this is exactly how it is. It's exactly straightforward and filling it in. So the first thing we need to do is we got to recognize who is going to be filling, or in this case, I'm filling it out for Mr. Mike Mazowski. Okay. If you have your employees having access to their own timesheet, then you're gonna have to allow them to see that. Okay. You're going to have to actually allow them to do that. So each employee can actually have their own timesheet available if you'd like. But in this case, let me see. The name is going to be Mike, so M. Let me see if I can type it in. There you go, Mike Mazowski. Oh, I don't see his name. All I see is multiple. Huh. Does Mike not exist in my timesheet?
Isn't he at the bottom? He wasn't at
the bottom. There you go. Yeah. No, I think I misspelled his name by accident. Okay, there you go. Mike Mazowski, there he is. Okay, we know that he's an employee, and now he's going to be turning in his timesheet here. So here, this is very important that you do this as well, that you go ahead and mark the exact week or the exact date. So I have to go back 2 years because we're typing in the timesheet for January, the week of January 7th, all the way till the, I think it's the
13th.
13th, that's what I thought. Okay, so there you go, here it is. So now this is where we can actually start filling out our items here. So the great thing about this is that you can be very detailed when it comes into timesheets. Like, what was your task? What was your job that you completed? So if you are, for example, like me, right? If I'm going to be clocking in my hours, my description would be that my daily task job is I did instructor, I taught today, or I did lecture, okay? And I would clock in my hours that way. But in this case, because we are looking at photography, Academy Photography, and we're looking at the specific photo sessions, or the things that Mr. Mike Wazowski can do, that's what we're going to be listing out. So again, with that picture, it's awful. You can't see anything on there. So I already, from the past classes, so here it is, the Mike Wazowski's timesheet, just so then you can see it a little better. I do have it here. Let me go ahead and I'll just make it bigger for you guys. So again, the first thing that we have that's being recorded is going to be Mike Wazowski's meeting time that he had with us. So for this example, we're going to be looking at an hourly regular, and it was a staff meeting, and he completed 5 hours on Monday the 17th. Okay, so I don't know why those dates are off. Okay, so this is for August. Okay, my bad. So it's supposed to be for January. 7th. Okay, so he did 5 hours on Monday. Okay, so we can go ahead and fill in that part at least. So again, there's no particular customer job that's entailed with this because this is a company thing. So again, we're going to skip that. We're going to skip the service item, and we're going to go ahead and go to payroll item. So the payroll outer item here is going to be hourly regular. Okay, and the notes here is that this is going to be a staff meeting. And here, we're going to say that on Monday, he completed 5 hours. Okay? Now, how... okay? So now it just gave us an error message saying that this row is marked as billable. Okay? Now, who can we bill for a staff meeting? Okay, so there's really no one that you can really bill for a staff meeting except for the own boss, but the boss is actually already paying you. So there's no point to actually have to bill somebody for that. So make sure this is the one of the options where you're going to have to unclick that billable option. Okay, because in my preference settings, I've set that all expenses or all costs that have billable available is going to automatically be selected as billable. So this is the one where you actually have to physically go through and you actually have to uncheck mark it. So again, a staff meeting, you can't bill anybody for a staff meeting. You're already getting paid by the employer, so there's no point to have to send a bill to someone else. Okay? So let's see what the next section is going to be. We have Anderson Wedding. Okay, the job here is an indoor photo shoot, and it's an hourly regular, and this is going to be a wedding shoot. All right, and he completed 2 hours on Tuesday, and that is it. He only completed 2 hours on Tuesday. Okay, so again, now this is actually where we're assigning customer jobs. So here, if we type in Anderson, and Anderson Wedding. Okay, I messed that one up. Anderson Wedding. Okay, I think it's supposed to be longer than that, or I think it's supposed to be for the Kumar and Wedding, but that's okay. I'm just going to leave it Anderson Planning. Okay, and then for the item here was an indoor photo shoot. Actually, now I'm kind of curious. What is it? Anderson Wedding. No, it just says Anderson Planning. Okay. So now that we've completed, or actually we're in the middle of this one. So again, it is going to be, again, the payroll item. This we'll talk about more prevalent again tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to be looking at payroll and how it works. So in this case, it's going to be hourly regular. Okay. And then this one, the description here or memo is going to be wedding shoot. Okay, and then again, he only completed 2 hours on Tuesday. Okay, and of course, because is this a customer / job that was completed, we're going to go ahead and bill Mr. Anderson for that. Okay, so that is checked mark. And as we keep filling out, as you can see, it gives us our totals at the end of each day, at the end of each week as well. So here I completed 5 hours on Monday. I completed 2 hours on Tuesday. Okay, so that is cool there. All right, so let's keep going. So the next section we have here is now our Cruz Maria branch opening. We have an outdoor photo shoot, hourly regular, and it's going to be site photo shoot. And let's see how many hours we completed. We completed 6 hours on a Tuesday, we completed 3 hours on Wednesday, and we completed 6 hours on Thursday. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug that in. So again, we are going to be billing Miss Maria Cruz. So Maria has used us for a lot of things. So branch opening. This is an outdoor photo shoot. Okay, and of course, this is an hourly regular. And and it is a site photo shoot. All right, so again, we completed 6 hours on Tuesday, 2 hours or 3 hours on Wednesday, and then 6 hours on Thursday. Okay? And of course, we are definitely going to bill Maria Cruz for that. Last but not least, we have another photo shoot for Mr. Bob Mason. He wanted a outdoor photo shoot. And again, it's an hourly rate, and it's an site photo shoot. And he completed 3 hours on Monday and 5 hours on Wednesday, 2 hours on Thursday, and then he completed another 8 hours on Friday. Okay, so again, that is 3, 5, 2, and 8. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at Mr. Bob Mason. So Bob Mason did an outdoor photo shoot, hourly regular, and for this one is a site photo shoot. Again, he completed 3 hours on Monday. He completed 5 hours on Wednesday. He completed 2 hours on Thursday. And then he completed 8 hours on Friday. Okay. Now that's his timesheet here. And notice this. We did an 8-day every day of the week, 5 days a week to get a grand total of 40 hours. Okay. So that's his timesheet here, and that's what we're going to do. And all 3 of these, right, with the customer/job, they all have billable content. That means when I bill these people, all 3 bills are going to be in regards to reimburse Mr. Mike Wazowski for these jobs. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Close. All right, now I got that beep of approval. So that's how you fill out a timesheet. It's pretty generic, pretty straightforward. You're just filling in items. Now, the items are important too because, again, the items can be whatever you'd like to place them in. But if it's a particular customer or a particular job or a task, you can be able to complete that. And again, we talked about payroll items. It's going to be something that we'll look into tomorrow when we set up payroll. And then again, descriptions. It's whatever you want to place in there. Okay? Any questions in how to fill out that timesheet?
No.
Okay. So now that we actually filled out that timesheet, right, there's many ways that you can actually view it or print it out. So in this case, pretty straightforward. You're just going to go to your print screen, or are you going to go to your print on your file? So you go to File, you go to Print Forms, and you're going to go to Timesheets. Okay? So once you get there, then now it's going to say for what week are you actually going to be printing? And we're going to locate January of 2019. Because that's the only one that we actually, no, not the first. 7. Okay. Oh, there you go. Here's Mr. Mike Wazowski. Okay. We can click at that and then we can preview it. So this is what his timesheet's going to look like. It's pretty much exactly what we saw on the form itself. It gives you the list of the activities he did, what the description was. It's an hourly rate, right? Of course, it does not disclose. And basically what hours he did per day. Okay. And then it is located, how many hours he did a day, and then the total hours he completed. Okay, so again, pretty straightforward, pretty easy stuff. All you have to do is just go to print forms and then click that thing right there. So this is good for doing payroll, right? Keeping track of, or if you're using this for your company and you submit it to your HR, either with a physical copy, then you can go ahead and do that. All right, or it could be for your own track record. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and click cancel. All right. So now that we got to take a look at that, now we're going to actually look at what happens when we actually invoice our customers for those particular jobs that we listed. So again, we're going to go ahead and create another invoice, but this time we are actually going to be selecting, again, Cruz Maria. So again, she's our predominant one that did a lot of activities with us, so we're just going to continue there. So again, I'm going to go ahead and take the shortcut and go onto the home page to the to invoices, and I'm going to go ahead and bring up Cruz Maria, and it's going to be for the branch opening. Okay. Once I do that, I get that same exact add or add time or whatever, add time / expenses. So again, if this window doesn't ever pop up and you want to charge or bill them again, let's say you select, I'm going to do it later, or you're going to exclude it this time, you can always add it at the top of the window. It says right here, add time / expenses. Okay. So again, if you don't ever see this window, then you can always populate it through there. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And now we're going to be in the actual time location. So here, because Mike Mazowski did a total of 3 events, he was there Tuesday, he was there Wednesday, and he was there Thursday. So here, Miss Maria Cruz is now being charged or being billed for all 3 events or for all 3 days with the according amount of time. So because each item was $95 per session, right? He's going to be collecting a lot. We're going to be billing him for this. So in another sense, instead of the actual company that's actually paying him, even though we are paying him already through a paycheck, this is how you can keep track, or you can utilize Mike Mazowski as to keep track of what jobs he completed, etc., etc. So again, here I'm going to go select all of them because all of these jobs are tied to Mike Mazowski. All right, they're already subjected to whatever the item was. Again, we talked about it. They were all for the outdoor photo session, which was $95 per hour, and he completed a total of let me see. He completed a total of 6 + 3 + 6 is 15 hours with Miss Maria Cruz. So she owes him $1,000 for that. So again, now all of these items are placed here, but then again, in this context, it's not saying that you're paying Mr. Mike Mazowski. You're just paying for the item. Okay? So that's how you can use it like this if you prefer to use it like this. But then again, we can also invoice Miss Maria Cruz just regularly. We don't have to technically use the whole Mike Mazowski or have to bill bill Maria Cruz for Mike Mazowski. Okay? It's just, yes. So again, class is Walnut Creek. All right. Thank you for your business. And then items here is outdoor photo. Okay, outdoor photo sessions. Okay. You can also have to go fill in every single class here. So again, it's Walnut Creek, Walnut Creek. Okay. Everything looks good, of course, because these are all services. There's no tax on them. So now we're gonna bill Miss Maria Cruz for the straight $14,205. I'm sorry. Excuse me. $1,425. All right, and then I'll save and close. Boom. All right. That's how you can pass a bill on, or for someone who's keeping track of their own time, you can actually utilize it that way. But in this case, if it's not particular to a particular employee, you don't have to bill them. You're not mandatory. You're not mandated to do it. Okay. Again, you could just sell the item the way it is, and whoever's on deck, and you say, go do that job, So it doesn't really matter there. That's just one way of utilizing your employees and making sure that they get reimbursed for the services that they've done. Okay. All right. Any questions in utilizing Mike and how to bill the customer for the job?
Nope, not yet.
Okay. So again, no markup there, but that's how it is. Okay. So with that being said, the next section here is going to be talking about how to keep track of either the owner's or a partner's time. So this is actually the same way that you enter in your employees, okay? Now, of course, if you are the owner of the company, you technically don't need to fill out a timesheet for any reason, okay? Because you can take money out of the company at any given time whenever you want, okay? Now, this timesheet is primarily geared towards, like, for example, when an owner or a partner decides to do a project, whether it's a renovation project, or maybe they're doing a full blast promotional event, or maybe it's their annual event. How are they going to kind of gear towards how much time they invested in there, okay? And they can choose whether they should be paid more for planning the event, etc., okay? So these kind of things that happen, usually you can keep track of their time as well, okay? So for this example, we're going to be looking at Vern Black. He's going to be the owner of this company. And what we're going to do is, because he also contributes as well, right? He works for the company as well. He actually does retouching, and he does a lot of the technical stuff that that the company does, where we have the photo shoots done by the employees. We have the retouching parts done by the owners. So in this kind of sense, it is same thing. You're going to go ahead and enter it in just as you did before for the employee. But this time you're going to be looking at as you're going to be calculating it as just time that you're going to just keep track of. So as far as this, I mean, it's same thing, rinse and repeat as doing an employee. But you know what? Since we have plenty of time, I'll go ahead and go over it with you guys. So first off, we have to enter in our owner. Funny thing is, we didn't enter the owner in the very beginning of this entire. Until now, until 3 weeks later, right? Chapter 9. That's when we enter in our owners. So there are lists that the owners actually belongs to. So if we go to list, okay. So as we know, if we look at our homepage, we have our vendors list, our customers list, and our employees list. So where in the world does an owner belong in? Because they are technically not an employee. They don't work for their own company. I mean, they do, but they're not technically, they're not getting paid to do work for the company. They're not their own employee at their own company. right? They own the company. So what list are they going to belong to? They are actually going to be considered other names. Others names list. So this could be your executive people, right? If you're a partner, this is where you belong. If you're a silent partner or an investor, this is where you belong because you don't work for the company. You're just an investor. Okay, so with this, at least you're able to create, and let's say you do need to write a paycheck to the owner itself because that's proper way of how you transfer money over. You don't just go directly to the business bank account and just pull out money whenever you want to. You do unfortunately have to want to be proper and make sure that you don't do any fraud. So you still have to enter his name in regardless. So of course, just like any other form, and when you enter in anything that's new, you go down to the bottom and you click new. Okay. Now, first things first is, what is his name? His name is going to be Vern Black. Okay. His company obviously is Academy Photography. Okay. Contact information. Does he have a phone number?
No.
No phone number. Okay. And then if obviously it's a Mr. Vern Black. Okay. First name Vern. Last name Black. Okay. Again, Academy Photography is his company name. So is there an address that we have to fill? I don't think there is.
Yeah,
You should.
it's the one for the 123 Main Street.
Oh, okay. So it's the company's name. 123 Main Street, Pleasanton.
Yeah.
Pleasanton, California. What was it?
4588.
Perfect. Again, email address. No, pretty much if you're the owner of the company, you don't need any contact information. You're the owner of the company. But for any emergencies where you need to put your phone number in there, that's what you do. Does he have a phone number or anything in here?
Nope, everything else on the other column is
Empty. Okay, there you go. Well, now that we have him in there, I'm going to go ahead and click OK. So as you can see, there wasn't actually any information that you actually have to place in here except for the very basics. He's the owner of the company. You know, what other information do you need to know about him? Not much. Okay. Just that he owns the company. Okay. So there you go. Now he exists right there. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this little window here, and I'm going to go ahead and enter in my timesheet. So use weekly. Again, I believe it's the same time, if I'm not mistaken, but let me go ahead and enter his name in first. Again, you could just type it in, and he should be able to populate. So there you go, Vern Black. All right, what date am I supposed to be selecting? So in this one, I think it's not as bad as it's not as bad as the other one, but this one, I still see January 7th.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
January 7th. Okay, so we're dealing with the same week here. So January. Okay, so January. Oh, missed it. January. Keep going. January 7th. Okay, there you go. Now again, the items are all fair game. Whatever items that you want to type in, you can fill it all in here, just exactly how you would fill in Mike Mazowski's sheet. The only difference is you don't get a payroll item. Pretty straightforward, right? You don't get a payroll item. You're the owner of the company. You don't get paid. You can pay yourself by taking out money whenever you'd like, okay? So that's the only difference here is there's no payroll item, okay? So let's go ahead and look at the book and see what tasks he completed. So there was an admin, okay? We had, again, it says overhead, and this one's for 3 hours. 3 hours on Monday, 2 hours on Tuesday, 8 hours on Wednesday, 8 hours on Thursday, 12 hours on Friday. Wow. Okay, so first is 3, 2, 8, 8, 12. Okay, so now we're going to go up back here. So again, the service that happened, there is no service item, right? It's just in the book. It just says it we put it in the notes.
It just, yeah, it's like notes, admin.
Okay, so here, notes, admin. Okay. Okay, class is overhead. All right, what was the numbers again? I said 3 on Monday. I think it was 2.
On Tuesday.
2 on Tuesday, 8. Then 8 again. And then
9
Friday.
on Thursday and 12 on Friday.
Oh, he did 9 hours on Thursday and 12 hours on Friday. Okay.
Friday.
Okay, again, you're not going to, who are you going to bill if you're the own company? If you're the owner of the company, you're not going to bill anybody. Okay. So that is that. Now the next section here is going to be actually doing an actual billable option, right? So here we're actually going to be billing Maria Cruz again, but this time for a retouching package, okay? And let's go ahead and look at this. So again, Maria Cruz, then it's for Walnut Creek. So he did 5 hours on Monday, 6 hours on Tuesday. So 5 and 6, and that's it. Okay, so let's go ahead and type it in right here at the bottom. So this was the Maria Cruz branch opening. He did the service of retouching. Okay, so then again, retouching. And it is for the Walnut Creek. Okay, and again, he did 5 hours on Monday, and he did 6 hours on Tuesday. Okay. So now that all that looks good, so we got 8 hours on Monday, 8 hours on Tuesday, 8 hours on Wednesday, 9 hours on Thursday, and 12 hours on Friday. So then we can go ahead and save and close. Now, what can we do with this? Okay. Now, because of that Maria Cruz, right? We technically said that, okay, it's billable. Okay. So that means when we receive this payment, right, that check pretty much goes to you. It doesn't go to anybody else. Okay. So instead of actually taking money from the company itself, you're actually getting paid for a service. So in this kind of sense, you're not being outed for something. Okay. Because you dedicated your hours to the job, right? And you are going to bill Miss Maria Cruz for that. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And of course, same thing's going to happen every single time. When you go ahead and type in Maria Cruz and you do the branch opening, you're going to get that window. And this time for the time, you're going to get charged for these 2 things for Vern Black. And I'm going to click OK because he did the retouching for Miss Maria Cruz. Everything looks good. Again, the services is going to be $95. So that means I should be able, or whoever the Vern Black is, should be able to get $1,000 without having to justify why he's taking the money. Okay, at least this is a valid reason why he's taking the money. Okay, so again, in the end of my invoice, I'm going to say thank you. for your business. And then I'm going to go ahead and write retouching. And I'm going to go ahead and click save and close. Okay, and what does that say? This says that this credit limit has been passed, and we're just going to say yes. Because yes, all we did today was all Maria Cruz, Maria Cruz, Maria Cruz, Maria Cruz. Okay, so yes. Any questions? So again, it's the same exact what we did for Mike Wazowski, except this time we're looking at the owner's perspective. Of course, you're not going to get paid for it, but this is a way that you can separate your expenses, separate your costs, because at the end of the day, you're going to get paid for it. So that's all that is. And again, it's for projects too. If you have a huge project, make it one of those items that you are going to set it out for. Okay, and you can always add items as you go as well. Okay. So any questions in regards to entering time for owner and or partner's time? Partner's time, same thing.
No, I have nothing right now.
Okay.
No, I don't have anything.
All right. So last section, go ahead.
Generic question.
Go ahead.
So I just want to make sure, I believe the answer is yes, but I just wanted to make sure. When you're going through and you entered all of your time and your items and your whatever else the tabs are, expense and mileage for stuff, you can go through each tab and create your invoice and include more than just time on an invoice, right?
Absolutely, yes. So
I just wanted to make sure, I know we're covering one area at a time, that's why we're doing it that way, but I just wanted to make sure that you could mix the invoice with multiple.
absolutely. If you wanted to and say like Maria Cruz, I tagged her for having the time. I tagged her for having those expenses. I tagged her for having all of those items. Yes, I can go in each section and highlight every single item and tack it on her whole entire bill if I wanted to.
Okay.
So-
I just wanted to make sure, I was like 99% sure you could, but then I just wasn't 100, so that's good.
Okay. Yes. You can charge as many as long as one of those 4 items that you can bill them for. You can tack on as many as you want, and you can add them as many as you want. And then instead of waiting till the very end unless you want to wait till the very end to just pile them all up, you can just send Maria Cruz one big fat bill. Yes, you can.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. So, all right. So last we're going to be looking at is going to be reports. So there was a couple of things that we looked at again when we talked about looking at open. Shoot, I can't remember what it's called, but it was back there on that one page where they were talking about open stuff. But again, reports are just going to be based on what you're looking for in regards to this. So if you're an HR person, then this is pretty much for you, especially if you're dealing with your employees. But again, if you go to the reports tab and you go down to time or jobs, times, and billings, then here you can actually go ahead and look at those reports that are necessary to answer what you are looking for. So again, so that's what it was, open jobs or the job list, right? You can look at that. You can look at job estimates, which we don't have estimates. We didn't talk about estimates. But you could do item profitability, maybe looking at the items that you sell, right, for those particular jobs. So remember when we did the custom cameras, looking at how they affect profitability. Okay, you can even look at let me see, you can even look at unbilled costs. So remember all those things that we looked at when every time we click that button to see what is billable and what's not billable. You can go ahead and check this out, because if you go here we could say that there was two things that we had. We had two admin things. We had Bob Mason here. All right, let me go ahead and click all. Okay, so here we have a few things that were not billable or unbilled. Actually, these are pending. Excuse me. So this one is an unbilled. So we haven't billed Bob Mason yet because the whole entire time we were dealing with was just pretty much Cruz Maria. Okay, Maria Cruz. We didn't bill Bob yet, so he's still pending a few things that are not yet billed. Okay. Other reports that you can do too is again looking at, where's my mouse at? So reports, time, jobs, and billing and mileage. Okay, so you get your time by job per se. See how many jobs take up so much time. And if I go all, see Anderson Wedding. This is all the time that's been accumulated for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out that Maria Cruz branch opening. That took up a total of 26 hours. Okay, for just that particular job. It was a total of 26 hours. Okay. Let me see for other reports. Let me see jobs and mileages. Pretty much, and then you could do mileage, but we haven't talked about mileage yet, just because it depends on your company. Do you reimburse for mileage? But if you do, then you don't, or if you do, how are you going to reimburse it? In this case, we didn't talk about mileage, so it's going to be not on the exam, but it's definitely something that, in case for more expertise for QuickBooks, if you do reimburse for mileages or for travel, go ahead and look up on how to use the QuickBooks help to go ahead and seek more information on how to be able to successfully do the mileage part there. Okay, it should be standard straightforward as far as entering the bill or expense or time or items, okay, and expenses. So they're pretty straightforward. They're all in the same place. Okay. So with that being said, any questions in regards to anything that we learned in chapter 9?
No, nothing.
No.
Okay. So again, I mean, personal opinion, I don't think this is a super impactful one except for the time part. When you're doing, especially when you're dealing with employees, if you're trying to set their timesheet, that's probably as far as the best part that is most useful from this actual chapter. Okay? With that being said, let's go ahead and do the review questions. So, number 1, okay, in QuickBooks, you are allowed to pass through billable expenses to customers.
C.
Okay.
Yes, C.
Good. C is the correct answer. If you use the bill check or credit card charges, okay, you can assign them by putting it in their little respective spots. Yes, of course. Number 2, okay, which account types can be used in the expense tab of purchase transactions to make the expense billable. Excuse me, sorry about that.
I have D, all of the above.
Oh, I was going to say C.
C. So Michelle says C and Robin says D. So let's look at it. Cost of goods sold. Yes, cost of goods sold is going to be one of those things. So this is on page, the very first page of chapter 9. If you guys remember, it's the list of what you can create the billable items for. I'm sorry, the billable expenses for, or have the option to be able to do the billing. And that list includes other assets or other current assets, expenses. So D is actually the correct answer. It's not just only other expenses, it's all of the above. Okay. Number 3 we have here is if you want to assign an expense to a customer / job, okay, but do not want to pass them through for a billable or a reimbursement, okay, do the following in the purchase transaction.
Okay, I have B.
And then check in the billable column to remove the check. She's probably right, so B.
Okay. All right. So A, let's look at all the answers. A, okay? You do not assign the customer / job, just enter in the information from the memo. No. It's not QuickBooks is not going to know who you're going to assign it to if you're trying to assign it. You just don't want to bill them, okay? So if you don't want to bill them, then assign the customer job and then click the little window, that check mark window, to select that it's not billable. So B is the correct answer. Okay. Number 4, okay, which of the following which the following tabs appear on the choose billable time and cost?
Cost window.
Mm-hmm.
I got D, all of them.
Yes. So if you guys remember that little window that pops up that says, hey, this person has something that you're being billed for, right? You have 4 tabs. The first one's time. Second one is expenses. Third is mileage. And last but not least, the 4th one is items. So yes, D, all the above is true. Just mileage is just not as important in this chapter. Okay. Number 5, okay, in the invoice, you can automatically mark up the pass-through expenses using the markup account option, okay? It is only available in which choose billable time and cost window?
I chose B.
B, yes, it's only done in the expenses tab. So as we remember, throughout this whole entire thing, when it comes to items, you can set prices. So you don't even need to have to do that. But for the example, when we did the custom camera, we don't have a clue of how much the camera is going to cost us. So that's where we have to go into the sales form and add in that extra extra markup. But when we use it to bill our customers for having a third-party vendor, such as that photographer, our set prices is that we already marked it up already. So we already set a selling price. So in this case, the only option is again, B, the expenses tab. Time tab, you can't mark up prices for time. Okay, so yes, the correct answer is B. It's that little section right underneath the expenses tab. Okay. All right, good job, guys. It is now exactly almost 4 o'clock. So if you guys don't have any other questions, tonight you're going to be reading chapter 10. It's going to be dealing with setting up payroll. Now, this chapter 10 is probably going to be, it's similar to setting up your company, but you're not going to go through it as fast. Trust me. There's a lot more than you have to deal with than just setting up your regular accounts. It's setting up from A to Z. So read chapter 10. You're going to see a list of the 10 steps to set up your payroll. And we're going to take a look at a sample file. So this is what I was going to talk to you guys about. If you guys are doing your fictitious business, right?